बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम शुरू करता हूँ अल्लाह के नाम से जो बड़ा मेहरबान नायत रहम वाला है और ये सब तुम्हारा करम है आका के बाद अब तक बनी हुई है. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone. Good day to all. We are celebrating. Yeah, we are celebrating the Environment Day in Pakistan also. And now this is M.A. Jinnah. I'm the project coordinator, project director for Sindh, Balochistan and Azad Jammu Kashmir. So today I've got a lot of international and local speakers. We're going to talk about the environment. And first of all, to begin with, I'd like to thank our very good friend, Masood Lohar Saab. He was kind enough to give this place. And then later on, I will show exactly what he's doing. It's called the Clifton Urban Forest. It's something very, very good, something amazingly done by him and his team. So we'll thanks to him. And later of the show, I will invite him to say, what exactly he's doing. So anyway, to start with the program, I have Humaira Iqbal. Yes, Humaira, please introduce yourself and your team, and then we continue from there. Yes, Humaira, over to you.
Yes, thanks. Before I start, I would request if you could allow hands to, yes, list. And also Aqsa Iqbal as panelist. Then I will start.
Yes, can we have Hans and Aqsa, please? Technical team.
Okay, sir, I'm just seeing in the list.
Yes, Hans Georgian should be there.
Thanks. Hans has joined us. Let me share with slide.
Thank you.
Hi, Hans. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's thank you, Mr. Jinnah, for giving us the opportunity to share about some of actions, because from morning you all been talking about certain facts about climate change, and this is honor for us that we are now hosting this important event. Let me share firstly about myself. I'm Humaira Iqbal, working in different projects of Australian Centre for International Agricultural Research in collaboration with the University of Melbourne and University of Veterinary and Animal Sciences, Lahore. And also I am Homeward Bound alumni. So with me there will be Hans Jorgen Rasmussen, who is the founder of World Climate School. We will be sharing with you what we have done in last year with the Pakistani students and teachers. So this story will definitely give you the eye-opening that how we need to take action. Before this session, Mr. Amar was asking me about that, what does this mean and what we are doing now. So this is the example, and we are now creating more impact by teaching more teachers to train others. So I will hand over to Hans. He will describe that how World Climate School and SDGs Academies is collaborating in different organizations in Pakistan and imparting the facts about this climate change and giving them the awareness. So hand over to Hans.
Thank you so much, Humaira, and thank you for this opportunity to introduce the work we are doing. I was fortunate enough to listen to the last 5 or 10 minutes of the last speakers before us, and actually Mrs. Nisha Malik was saying exactly what is the main reason for what we're doing, meaning we only have 10 years to fix this unless we want a total global disaster. So scientists warned us many years ago that CO2 emissions must be significantly reduced by 2030 and transformation made away from continuous growth and rampant consumption. In response to these warnings, I created the original version of World Climate School called The Climate School in 2014. Later, I was joined by other founding partners, and together we sought ways to rapidly expand public awareness of climate issues, planting seeds of hope that the crisis could be solved through purposeful action. In 2020, World Climate School was formally registered as a legal entity, a non-profit organization based in Norway. And from there, we are running our worldwide activities through local chapters and partnerships. The World Climate School system can exponentially educate and activate people by focusing on cohorts of 20 people at a time. This will happen through technology and through a deep and all-inclusive transformation of economic and social values, mindsets, and behaviors. It will involve everyone and support local communities in each country in mitigating and adapting to climate change. By this, we will help create thriving, sustainable communities, schools, and companies for generations to come based on the donut economics model. In the first months of 2020, we connected with SDGs Academy Pakistan. Together with teachers from Pakistan, we developed an educational program targeting the special challenges Pakistan is facing. This program will be introduced by Humera in a few minutes. Many institutions and organizations offer courses about climate change, so you can ask, why choose WCS as a partner? Basically, our reasons are the following. Our approaches are holistic, all-inclusive, aiming at what we consider a total transformation of our values, our mindsets and behaviors, systems and economic thinking. We shouldn't only solve the environmental crisis, but also aim at creating a more beautiful world, the world we all know in our hearts is possible. So we are not only trying to escape disaster, but actually build a much better alternative. So maybe I have a little more text, but maybe I can stop here and tell you what our basic method is. Teach the teachers is what we've called it. This, as you can see from this slide, if one person can teach 20, then 20 can teach 400, 8,000, 160,000, and so on and so forth. So in very few steps, we can educate the entire population of this planet, provided everybody takes on the role of teaching 20 others once they have learned what to teach. And that's our Teach the Teachers model. We consider everybody a potential teacher, not only those who are educated. Okay, that's all for me in the first round.
Yeah, thanks. So Hans shared about the World Climate School and its philosophy and with the vision through which we are now. So I will be explaining the model. So here is my slide is some problem. Yeah. So I will be telling you about the Teach the Teachers model. So when in last year, when World Climate School and SDGs Academy has collaborated, through collaboration, we have planned that how we have to provide awareness to the vast community, even in Pakistan. In this planning phase, we have set out certain rules for collaborating with each other and planned training resource. Now we are at the stage that we have a very good and impact-oriented training resources. All of the methods and all of the agendas or modules we are having, that's available on our World Climate School and SDGs Academy's YouTube channel. So these modules are used as a supplementary resource, but apart from this, we have conducted certain training sessions with the meritorious college teachers and also students parts of it. Why this was happened because World Climate School and SDGs Academies has created a learning garden where every participants are open to participate and interact with each other. For each session, there is a certain topic that we discussed, and there are certain assignments after each of the session. So the dynamic team has all of the courses over there. So in this way, we have now built up a teachers network, and now these teachers are training to other next teachers. That's how we have to create more number of climate activists, so that it doesn't matter that he or she is educated or not, but he or she must have the climate awareness and climate literacy. This is the slide I have taken from Inger. Thanks, Inger, for sharing me this slide. This is about teacher-to-teacher program model that we have started in November. And we have covered each week, we have covered one module. So after covering almost 12 modules, we have ended up in January. And in January, every participant has now a clear idea and clear action that how they have to do what kind of projects they have to do in their local communities. These people are in Karachi. But now we are planning that how we have to collaborate with more number of people, with more number of organizations. So any of you is interested, you can also contact us. Here I would be sharing a very interesting, and you can see different patches of the pictures. These pictures are actually a digital collage taken by all of the participants during this session, and every picture has its own meaning. I would wish when Inger would be presenting and she can present about this blue color football where is written as Save Blue Ocean. So that's how every picture is linked with the climate, and that's how the thinking process going on with our every student or every teachers to train for future people. Hans, you could explain about the personal projects, that what does this mean? So please explain.
Hans, can you unmute, please?
After finalizing the courses, everybody is supposed to find a group of at least 20 people to educate them. In addition, everybody has to embark on a personal project, either alone or with others, in order to, in actual practice, to approach some of the issues the environmental destruction and the climate change are producing. So they don't only teach, they don't only talk, they also start walking the talk.
Yeah. Thanks. So this was about the action regarding awareness we have taken. So I'm really thankful and grateful to be connected with Amar Jafri and Mr. Jinnah and SDGs Academy, and also with World Climate School. And Inger and Hans has did a lot of hard work with us, because in starting such courses we have faced a lot of problems and challenges. But after training one session, we have now hands-on and looking forward to collaborate with more organizations. I think if anything I missed that Inger or Jinnah can add into it, if or later we can have take question and answers if you have. Thanks.
Thank you, Humaira. Thank you. Yes. So, I have one question for Hans. Hans, can you hear me?
I hear you. Yes.
There's one question, right? When we did the World Climate School, and one of the school in Karachi, the meritorious, you just have been said by the Humaira. What's your experience? What you thought? How the people respond to it, the teachers, also the students, and how was your experience? Can you just share with us?
Well, first of all, they were very passionate about what they learned. They took it in, and they not only thought about it, they felt strongly about it. So I have a clear hope that this will result in solid action in the future. But also I must say that we have developed this first, I could call it test course together with you guys, and we are going to evaluate our experiences and revise it wherever we can improve it. One important thing is that the lectures are a combination of video lectures from YouTube and live sessions. I think in the future we are going to make the live sessions much more prominent and with a lot more interaction. Yeah.
Thank you, Hans.
Yeah, let me add one thing about your question. Yeah. So, because to communicate and to collaborate with the vast and diverse community, it is a challenging thing. For World Climate School is from the other part of the world, and we are at the other part of the world. Initially, we try to take it face to face. Yes, afterwards we have go 100% online. Yeah, the best thing in this part, like we haven't imposed anything on our teachers. Firstly, the first week went very confusing to them, but they have took time to understand that what's going on. When the teachers understand, then they wait for the next session, and also we have set certain norms to interact and to collaborate with each other. And there is a very comprehensive slideshow has been prepared by Hans about group norms and rules. That is very much important, and also work in every organization if we follow those rules.
Thank you, Mera.
Thank you, Mera. Thank you, Hans. And it was a wonderful experience we had, and very soon we will move on to the other school very soon. So now we move on to Mr. Wasim Vora Sahab. So Wasim Vora, could you please introduce yourself and your topic, and then you have exactly 10 minutes to continue. Yes, Mr.
Yeah,
Wasim.
thank you for inviting me today, and I'm really glad that this is a very important audience where, as an industrialist and as a representative of industrialists, I can express my and my colleagues' views as we are facing certain issues which need to be highlighted. Currently, I'm the convener of a standing committee which comprises of industry academia collaboration on water resources. And this is a very critical issue that we are facing most of the time. My topic today will be industrial wastewater treatment as important environmental factor. So in order to address this august audience, today it gives me immense pleasure to be amongst you and bring my colleagues and my views here. Initially, the first point of my speech will be the EPA, that is Environmental Protection Agency, which is part of the Ministry of Climate Change. Now, Ministry of Climate Change is handling the whole issue of EPA, and EPA is directly contacting us, and we are facing EPA as a regular routine, and they come to us and ask us for certain issues to be tackled. EPA Act was passed by the Parliament in 1997, and until today, what are we looking at? This act was just passed in 1997, and what the subsequent governments have done, I have no idea. The issue that they come to us, they ask us to do something and but the kind of issues that we have to tackle with them, I don't want to mention those issues here. But you see, the industrial waste water recycle and treatment, this is our main issue. Our industrial wastewater has to be, treated before we send it to the drains. Now, the treatment of industrial wastewater is not the end of it. It has to be recycled for reuse. And industrial wastewater needs cheap energy. We do not have, as an industrialist, we do not have cheap energy. Our energy is very costly. Now, this costly energy does not allow us to recycle or reuse this water. What to do? Our wastewater contains chemicals and various other solid contents which probably should not be going into the natural drains. What should we do? We are looking for towards the government, towards the Ministry of Climate Change. I believe that the government has to come up with an idea of how to provide cheap energy for reuse and recycling of wastewater. The immediate concern of a factory owner is to find industrial to find water which can be used. Now, our exports are the water is an important part of our exports. What should we do? It affects our cost. It affects our cost, and we are now in the international market to earn foreign exchange for the country, and it is a very, very critical issue. So here we have to turn our attention towards recycle and reuse of water at a very cheap energy cost. So the government has to come up with a solution. Now, industry is employing thousands, or may say millions of workers, and those workers are being paid as salaries, and they are the ones who depend upon industry. Unfortunately, we are being neglected as an employment source. Pakistani industry is contributing immensely towards its obligations. We are the ones who are running the taxation system. We pay the taxes. We import the technology from the world. We buy latest machinery to manufacture our products. And we are the ones who are contributing towards the cost of production. So I would like to address this august audience to focus on this point, that in order to go ahead, in order to move ahead for the to improve the per capita income of this country, you need to have a strategy, and this strategy must come from the Ministry of Climate Change. I would suggest that Ministry of Climate Change be headed by a businessman or an industrialist. And this industrialist can really contribute because he has the knowledge, wherewithal, and he knows where the market is going. And we are the ones who are taking the directions towards the market of the country's products. Look at the availability of water. Karachi has a serious crisis of water. We do not get the fresh water arrangements. What we do is we sometimes have to go to underground water resources, and that is damaging our aquifers. Our aquifers cannot be kept on being damaged for water as a water resource. If you look at the contents of the underground water, it has a high content of arsenic, and this sometimes hinders our health issues for the workers. We have to provide clean drinking water in the factory to the worker. Now, how can we provide this clean drinking water and maintain the health of our workers? Our workers are the backbone of economy of the country. Our workers are not able to get the clean drinking water neither at the factory nor at their homes. So in order to be competitive, we have to provide healthy drinking water and clean drinking water. Secondly, we need to provide a good transportation, clean transportation system to the worker who has to face in his in the localities where he is living. Look at the conditions that he is facing there. And when he comes up to the factory gate, he must be in a fresh condition to take up his work. Now, we need the Ministry of Climate Change to come to the level of supplying us a clean transport system for the workers without the pollution and without the polluted water. Come up with these are critical issues for environmental factors. And we are the ones who have to export our products. So the cost of exports is included in the water that we use and the environment that we use. So I would like to conclude my points here, but the carbon content that we are releasing into the atmosphere is a very important issue. And this carbon content that that Pakistan is facing, it is only 0.6% that we are releasing, but the consequences have been quite large. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to me. I'm here for any question and answers.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Wasim Saab. Before you leave from here, I have two questions. The one, whatever you have said, is something we should do and we should be doing. So my question is how we can do it. That's the first question. And second, have you done anything for the community or for the business community or for Pakistan as a whole? Have you done anything? Can you offer anything to us?
Now, the first question that you said that, the first question that you did, how it can be done. I have already said that the Ministry of Climate Change should be headed by a businessman or an industrialist in order to tackle the whole scenario. Secondly, we at our factories are doing our best to recycle the water that we throw away into the drains. But this we can't do it without the government's support on energy. The energy is so costly. If you look at the per unit that we are using is 28 rupees per unit. And this is giving us a hell of a lot of problems at our end.
Thank you, Wasim Saab. Thank you very much. Before
these are the two questions.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Because of the time constraint, I have to be very, very quick, and I'll go to Dr. Salma Hamza. Yes, please introduce yourself and just share your topic. And you have exactly 10 minutes to. Yes, Dr. Salma.
Yes. I am Dr. Salma Hamza from Jaweria University, Karachi campus. I am head of the department, and I am head of the department Earth and Environmental Sciences. I am environmental geologist, and today I am sharing. I can just a minute. Okay. Yes. Today I am sharing about the safe drinking water quality, a case study of Vinder, Balochistan. It is my topic, and my research area, as you already know, the environmental geology. And the Vinder area is situated in Balochistan, Jaweria district of Balochistan. It is about 80 kilometers northwest of Karachi along the City Highway. The town is a small outpost en route to Dudar lead zinc deposits, part of the China-Pakistan economic corridor, but there are complex emotions at play here. It is a very small town, but facing some water-related problem. We interviewed some persons in this area. An aged man in the main market of Vinder said that our treasure minerals are being taken away on this metal road that was constructed recently. But there isn't a single ambulance that can take us to a hospital or a nearby treatment facilities. We put our ill on a donkey cart to take them to doctor. There is no functioning hospital here when our loved ones are in poor health. We take them to Karachi. This is the view of an aged man. And other local explains the number of people routinely getting sick in Vinder is increasing day by day. The begs the question, what is the causing of number of cases to pile up? Then we study the drinking water quality of Vinder. When we calculated there and estimated there, the geologically, Vinder town lies in the southern part of the western fold belt of Pakistan, and it comprises mainly of sedimentary rocks of the Jurassic age, that is Frodabad group, and igneous rock of Belaophyolite. In simpler terms, the geography of the area is such that there are many lead zinc deposits around Vinder, but while Vinder and its surrounding are rich in mineral and heavy metal as well, there is cost that local are paying. Chronic diseases and geological environment have a close relationship, and a number of serious studies have also concluded there is a relationship between geological environment, potable water, and diseases. In the case of Vinder, the presence of cadmium in and around the rocks of the town has unleashed a medical crisis. Basically, cadmium is a toxic trace element. It is found in most rock in the region, as well as in coal and petroleum in very low concentrations. Often in combination of with lead and zinc deposits, geologically deposits of cadmium can severe as their sources of groundwater and surface water, especially when in contact with soft acidic water. There is no evidence indicating it's essentially to humans, but cadmium is toxic even in an extremely low level. It accumulates especially in the kidney and is a potent case of cancer and cardiovascular diseases. Cadmium can cause cough, headache, and nausea, followed by vomiting in low dose intake. While in large doses, accumulation in the liver and kidney take place, it can replace calcium in bones, which is culminates in painful bone disorder, renal failure, and is implicated in human hypertension. Chronic anemia can also be caused by the prolonged exposure to drinking water contamination with the cadmium. Elements are transported in the water as either dissolved material or the integral part of the suspended sediment. However, dissolved material in rivers or steam have the great potential to causing the most harmful effects. Subsequently, they may be stored in the sediments of the riverbed or percolate into the subterranean water, thereby causing contamination of groundwater, especially well. The degree and extent of contamination, however, will depend on the nearness of the well or any water aquifer to the geological sources. Water is life. We all know people must be concerned about the safety of their drinking water. When we first encountered disease in winter, members of our team began assessing whether cadmium had seeped into the groundwater and whether that was possible causing disease. The first phase of our research in winter was carried out in 2014, and we discovered that the average range of cadmium is selected groundwater samples in Winter town, and its periphery was comparatively high, and this was being consumed as potable water. Our analyzed sample sites contains only 14.58% safe water for human consumption. This is the GIS study or special analysis of the cadmium groundwater in the cadmium in the groundwater. The World Health Organization (WHO) allows up to 3 microgram per liter, and in this area, 29.16% falls under the WHO range. About 60% samples, however, were observed to have higher cadmium level and more than 5 microgram per liter, among which some had very high content. During
Ma'am,
this,
we have 2 minutes.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, I think I have conclude this all thing. Okay, there are those who are still braving of disease in winter. Even then, 15% of the total we take some response. We mark here, estimate here the presence of cadmium in water affect almost all type of respondent or all type of persons or inhabitants, like human. Also, we take some vegetation and we test the vegetative sample. Then we found the vegetation of the Winder town is also very contaminated. So the case of the Winder is about water contamination and its source impact on human health, which is the common problem in all over the Pakistan. The presence of arsenic in water can also be lethal in its inorganic form. Arsenic is highly toxic, and long-term exposure to arsenic from drinking water and food it can cause cancer and skin diseases. Drinking water and food preparation from this contaminated water is also affect the human health. This phenomena can also be gauged through the number of arsenic poison case in different areas of Pakistan. For our study, we have already approached a private hospital.
Thank you, Ms. Salma. I have to end this presentation here. Thank you very much. Because of time constraint, we have to be very, very precise. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you,
very
sir.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, and inshallah, in coming days, we will invite you again, and we'll give you more time to to make your presentation. So thank you very much.
Thank you
very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Now, can you just close your screen, please? Now we go to Islamabad. Now we have Hafiz Javed with us. Yes, Hafiz, are you there?
Yeah, thank you, sir. I just want to share my screen.
Yes, please. Please introduce yourself, and you have exactly 10 minutes to make your point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Janasa, for giving the time. And I'm glad that I'm not the only geologist here. Dr. Salma was also the geologist. And yeah, the topic which I chose for today is actually the climate crisis in Pakistan. And I want to highlight the other issues that are not talked about usually. So you may have heard that some say Pakistan is really winning against the climate change, but what is the real case? It might be true that Pakistan is contributing very less, maybe less than 1% in greenhouse gases, but the threat that we are going to face is not really is really a big thing which we are not comprehending right now. So Pakistan is ranked amongst top 10 affected countries that are facing the threat of climate emergency, and it is already visible on our economic and environmental spectrum. And the issues that we have to take is rising temperatures, increased flooding, our monsoon pattern, which is changing every year, and our below average capacity of water reservoirs that are major threats facing our country. And another issue is climate migration that is not yet talked about, but we are going to see a major threat in this area as well, because the Indus River Delta that is being badly affected by sea intrusion, which is home to the many people on the coastal area. So Pakistan had witnessed a drastic change in rain patterns and an increase in droughts and floods in past decades. In only 2018, the total rain that was recorded in only Sindh province was just 1 millimeter, but in 2019 it was 323 millimeters, which is very high. And according to the chairman of Pakistan Fisher Folk Forum, the construction of dam has already reduced the water flow into the Indus River Delta, and climate change has accelerated the process of destruction with sea intrusion, which is really causing the coastal area damage. And it is estimated that it will force 1.2 million people to migrate. Not to forget, warming is causing the receding of the mighty Himalayas glaciers and the melting of the glaciers that increase the influx of water on the Indus River system. So our lacking the capacity to store the surface water runoff, which is ultimately resulting in the flooding in plateaus and plain areas of our country. And this is directly linked with the agriculture activity and productivity in the country. And you all know that agriculture is the major contributing sector in Pakistan. So we have to take care of this area as well. And this is why the construction of water catchment areas are actually the need of our country. Karachi, which is among the largest cities in the world, and it is considered to be the backbone of the economy, it is under severe threat. It is located at the junction where the Indus River Delta enters the Arabian Sea, and we are really see the shifting in the climate patterns over the city. So Karachi is facing changing trends in monsoon patterns, largely due to global warming. Uncertainty in predicting these events is actually another problem, because we do not have that much reliable data we can rely on and predict our climate events. So serious political commitment and civic engagements are very need of the hour. Government should employ its best effort to construct proper sanitation and irrigation system, because when we talk about climate change, we do not talk about the irrigation and sanitation system. It is directly linked with it. Building of the small and medium water reservoirs along all the Indus River and the coastal area is also necessary. And not just in Pakistan, but the government in all developing countries, they can only come to implement these things when people stand for their demand, for their rights, for climate change, which is, the basic human rights now. We all have the right to live in a healthy environment. So Pakistan, this day today has just inaugurated the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration. And the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration is a global rallying cry to heal our planet. We more have 10 years to restore our planet, and it can take many forms like growing trees, greening our cities, rewilding our gardens, changing our diets and purchasing patterns, or cleaning up the rivers and coastal areas. So I really believe that this is a generation that has a task and that can make the peace with the nature. So thank you very much. I just wanted to highlight the other areas that are not just talked about usually. And this is my profile. Thank you very much. I hope I have completed on time.
Yes, you have completed on time. Actually, you gave us two extra minutes. So, Hafiz, thank you very much. But there's one question, I need to ask you.
Sure, sir.
What sort of response you are getting with the with the Pakistani market, both the public and private sector? Do they actually listen to you? Do they think you are making sense? I'm
Actually,
asking a
sir,
blunt question.
yeah, you are right. Actually, I am facing these issues, but the good thing is our civil society that is more, they have more awareness and they are coming to the front. But the problem here is that we do not have the connection between the industry and academia and civil society. So we have to build a collaboration among them. So the projects that we are going to work should have a long-term impact, because when we talk about sustainability, we have to think in a long-term scenario. So the industry, the academia, the youth, the civil society, the government, the private sector, they all have to be on the same table if we want a success in real meanings.
Thank you. Delighted to listen to you. You are